Welcome to the Elements of Spirit readings for the week of June 26th, 2017. This is the reading for the element of air, which includes the sun signs of Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. If you haven't listened to your ether reading, go back and watch that now. Grab that affirmation. I am here I am, which is all about grounding, accepting the circumstances, the conditions, and the qualities of this present moment. Orienting yourself to the past, looking for those landmark horizons, the landmarks on the horizons in the future, orienting yourself there, proceeding apace. Let's see what the air has to say. Okay. Cool. So grounding, it's this very cool feeling of the downward flow of the grounding, orienting you to the earth, sort of plugging you in, because that's what grounding really does. It plugs you into the here and now and gives somewhere for all of the energy that's coming into you to go. And I mentioned in the ether reading, the solar plexus, sacral, and root chakras, excuse me, these are all the lower centers, the three lower centers below the heart, as opposed to the three centers above the heart, throat, third eye, crown. This is solar plex, sacral, root. Grounding is usually associated with the root, but when you plug the root in, everything else can kind of light up, clear out, do what they're doing. So here's the thing, what's cool about you is that by observing this grounding, it's saying you're connecting to this earth power, which initiates a cycle of purification, a kind of air-based cycle of purification. So the idea is you plug into the earth, it activates your natural primary element of air, which breezes through and blows out your sacral and upper root. That's what I wrote down here, sacral and upper root. We'll talk about the sacral, we'll talk about the upper root in just a moment. So it's saying plugging into the earth power through grounding, here and now, being here, I am here I am, initiates this cycle of purification, which is not the same thing as just like a cleansing or a detox. Purification implies that there is something desirable within the system. Cleansing is just like get all the shit out, right? And leave whatever needs to remain with integrity. This is like there's something desirable in there, and we want to actually whittle away all that is not in alignment with that which is most desirable. Purifying of unnecessary or unwanted elements, really, to find a kind of essence. Okay, so the idea here is purification through release and action. So the idea here is that by grounding into the earth, you purify the sacral and the upper root, which allows clear, clean actions, decisive actions about what to do, where to go, how to proceed, but what's being purified. This is the sacral. So the sacral is the center of desire, the center of vitality, the center of the emotional body, the shame body, even to some extent the pain body, the pleasure body and the pain body, the sadness body, right? The emotional body, but the sadness body and the suffering body, right? Those are all applicable to what's being purified now, right? And the idea is that what remains, the desirable element, is clear, clean, aligned choice or action. So the implication here, and that makes sense. So when I drew this, it's sort of like womb-ish, but it's also sort of Aries-ish, Ram-ish, fire-ish, action-ish. So the idea here is like, by the end of this week, you're gonna feel, there's the potential for you to feel really good about making a choice to move forward in some specific, new, wonderful way. In order to get there, a lot of purification wants to happen around the desire body, emotional body, shame body, pain body, sadness body, suffering body. But the idea, through the grounding of I am here I am, is that you're not going to purify those things by moving on from them. You're going to purify those bodies and that material by digging into it, by looking right at it, and just by accepting it, naming it, calling it out, owning what you're working with. That's what's in the grounding affirmation from the ether. And that there's a process that wants to occur here, which is that whatever is getting backed up and clogged up in your desire, emotional, shame body, pain body, sadness body, suffering body, wants to be released, wants to be purified through release and action. And that's where we come to the upper root. It's so interesting. So what my guides are showing me, because I'm like, what is this upper root thing? I've never really talked about it. I've talked about sides of the root or imbalanced root or whatever, but the upper root would be the place that holds on out of fear, whereas the lower root is the place that just releases. Okay, so well, again, any of you that know me, that have worked with me, I would probably pad this out a little bit and make it not so stark and blunt. This is how we know it's spirit. Because Mikey's a lot softer than this. I bravely face my pain and sadness to release it and move forward. Okay? Now, maybe I would get there at the end of an hour-long session, but this has been about 6 minutes. So, good luck with that this week. No, I'm not making light of this. It's like overwhelming. It feels really powerful and really strong, you guys. Guess how you move on from shame, sadness, unfulfilled desires, clogged up, stagnant sacral chakra, clenching, fear, holding upper root. You don't do it by blasting through it. You don't do it by bypassing. You don't do it by moving over it. You do it by bravely facing your pain and sadness to release it and move forward. And the idea is facing it is a process of naming it. I hope this works with you. This makes a lot of sense to me, where the idea is like, oh no, even better. I was going to tell you something from the practice, but even better. In ancient times, in order to vanquish a demon, you had to know its name. In order to end, demonic torment, you had to speak the name of the demon. So the idea here, it applies. If you can unflinchingly, or at least bravely, forget unflinchingly, we don't need to go there this week. If you can bravely face your pain and sadness, the sources of it in the past, the anticipation or anxiety of it in the future, you can release it and move forward. I bravely face my pain and sadness to release it and move forward. I am here I am. Yeah, that's it. I love you guys. I hope this serves you this week. I'll see you next week. Ciao, bye.